Okay, inshallah. So let's just go ahead and get started. Let's just because we only have like half hour, so inshallah we'll just then cover as much as we can, okay? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. I wanted to quickly just read this part from this book just to basically help understand where we are with this and like the importance of it, right? So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Recite it slowly, Quran, for that will help in understanding the Quran and contemplating it. This is how the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to recite. So many times we forget that where the Quran we can recite it however we like and however we know, and then sometimes just like skim through the words very quickly. But this is a book that we need to be spending the most amount of time in reciting. As mentioned in the last class, it is practically medicine, right? So if you want barakah to like come in your house, you want blessings to come inside of your house, it needs to be filled with the words of Allah, and then they need to be recited very very slowly and very very clearly. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Now, and then the second page is whoever recites the Quran, being skillful in it, will be with the honorable messenger, angels, and whoever recites the Quran with hesitation, as it is difficult for him or her, will have a double reward. And this is a Sahih hadith narrated by Al-Bukhari, Muslim, and At-Tirmidhi and Ibn Majah. So, what does this mean? This means that for those that are reciting it, obviously it's going to be a blessing for you. So it's like you get one portion of the reward. But those that recited with trouble, let's say if they have trouble saying the words or pronouncing, they will get 2 times the reward. So let's say if there's a letter, if there's a word that you cannot pronounce, but you're still trying for it, then you will get more ajr. So the very important point to remember for you to not get discouraged in, trying to recite the Quran. And for every Muslim who loves the Quran and wants to read it in the correct way, with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, nothing is impossible. So whatever we devote our time to, that is what we will get, inshallah. Okay, now this table of content we went over. Bismillah, the al istiada and the al basmallah, there's two ways, right? Fahim, I think this so Sunny already knows this, but Fahim, there's again it'd be a good refresher. Fahim, so there's three different ways that you can start off. There's three different ways. I know most people like the generic ways to say, the istiada, which is the A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, and then of course which is the Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, right? So I know that that's the main way, but there is three different ways. So way one is to join all three. The Basmallah, and then the beginning of the surah. So what is that? All in, but it's all in one breath if you want, right? So that's just one way again. So what does that mean?
What, could you repeat that again? You said, yeah.
There's three. So there's basically three. I know generically, right? Like for
Hmm.
the most part, people say, like A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim,
Hmm.
and then they say, like Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and then they
Okay.
start reciting, right? But that's
Yeah.
not the only way. So that's one way, right? You say, like A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, you pause. You say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, you pause, and then you recite the ayah, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But that's just one way. So now the second way, right, is this one. Is when you say all three at the same time. Maybe you've heard Imam say this, maybe you haven't, right?
I think I've heard it before, but I
Yeah.
don't recall maybe.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. So now you're basically learning the rule. So the second way, which is this, the second way of starting off any Quranic recitation is to say all three in one. So the is the other, the basmallah, and then the first ayah. So for example, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين, without pausing or without taking a breath. that make sense?
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So it's all once. And again, it's your choice. So if you hear an imam saying that, that is one of the ways of saying that. So that's the second way. And then
Yeah, quick thing. I was gonna ask.
sure.
So when you say the first part, how do you say the first part? It's the other, right?
So it's
It's the
isti'adha.
other. It's the other.
Alif, yeah,
Okay.
al isti'adha. So
So then
sin
when you
ta
say the
sin ta ain dal and then ta. Obviously the ta you don't pronounce, you just say ha. So it's just
the
al
other. Okay.
isti'adha. Al isti'adha.
So when you go into all in one go, you say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. You keep going, right? Like that.
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين.
Okay, I see. I see.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's one way. Second way is again to the you cut all three up, right? So
Mm-hmm.
now like the أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين. So that's three ways. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Stop. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Stop. And then you say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Or whichever ayah that you're reading, you say that. So that's the second way. Any questions so far?
Mm, no,
These are
no.
basics, just like very,
Mm-hmm.
very basics. Okay. The third way is to join the istiada and then the basmala. I think this is yeah, I mean some people do it, some people don't. So this is an example of this would be A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Make sense?
Yeah, this is the one I
Pretty
heard
simple.
more common. This
Pretty,
is more
pretty, yeah,
common.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. As different people do it different ways, but like very, very simple stuff. Okay, so Bismillah at the beginning of the surah, and then you can also say, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. So that's another way. Okay, joining the Bismillah and then the beginning of the surah, and that's it. So that's just a few different ways that you can say it. All of the ways are correct. It's not, you don't just have to say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Does that make sense? So different ways that you can do it. So just to recap, how is it? First way is to join both the istiada and then the basmallah and then the beginning of the surah, so the first ayah. That's one. Number two is to cut all three. So like A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, break. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim, break, and then like Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Third way, joining istiada and then the basmallah. So A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir rahmanir rahim, like you said. Um, and then joining the Bismillah, and then the fourth way is to just say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, because you don't necessarily have to say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir. You have to say Bismillah. Does that make sense? You have to say, you are obligated to say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. There's only one surah in the whole Quran which does not start with Bismillah. It actually just goes into the first ayah. Does anyone know which surah that is? It is Surah At-Tawbah. So Surah Tawbah is the only surah in the whole Quran which does not start with Bismillah. If you go there, if you flip the pages of the Quran, you'll see that that's the only surah that just starts from the first ayah. So you actually don't say Bismillah at all. But anything other than that, you have to say Bismillah. The A'udhu Billah part is optional. I mean, you don't have to say it, but it is very, very beneficial for you to say it. Because obviously like want to void off like the evils of shaitan, and you want to make sure that you're like fully focused, that you're not having any disturbances, because obviously like waswasa is real. Whispers of the shaitan are real, and you don't want to be demotivated in any way from like reciting the Quran, right? Obviously it's like the biggest challenge that we face today is that we just don't have the motivation of reciting the Quran. So the like the istiada is a good way to prevent yourself from falling into that trap of getting demotivated from reciting the Quran. So okay. So that's it. We're gonna get into this stuff tomorrow. We only have 10 minutes left. Obviously, these classes are going to be short. Tomorrow I'll test you guys on what the 3-4 ways are of istiada and then the basmallah. So if you didn't write it down, just write it down. And then inshallah tomorrow we'll cover it. We'll just do like a quick review, and then we'll jump into letters. I mean, today we'll do like some letters today as well, but that's also going to be a test for tomorrow's test is also going to be how well you guys know the letters and how well we covered it, how much you guys picked up today. So if you need to take screenshots of this, I'll stay on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, then this is going to be reviewed on Thursday. Okay, so let's quickly run through. I'm gonna switch the screen and then let's quickly run through the letters. Okay. Um, okay, can you guys see my other screen now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Who wants to go first? Whoever feels confident. Why don't you guys go ahead and say the letters as best with the best pronunciation as possible. Sunny, I think you should be leading, you know.
Not nice, Sunny.
We'll try, bro. We'll try. I think
Inshallah.
Yeah,
it,
Sunny's the expert at this.
nah, I don't know about that. But we've been doing the abroad class too, so hopefully, learn something from
Yeah,
there.
Yeah,
Sunny's
Um,
been A1 in that class.
mashallah.
okay. All right. Um, so we start at Alif,
Hmm.
Ba,
So
Da. Huh?
sorry. I'm sorry. So say it as if there's a fatha on
Okay.
top of it. Yeah.
Okay. So you want to do Alif Fatha
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
or just like A?
You don't even need to say it. You
Uh,
don't even need to, you know what? Why don't you say alif? Yeah, say the letter and then say fatha. Yeah, sure.
okay. So Alif Fatha A, Ba Fatha Ba, Da Fatha Da, Tha Fatha Tha, Jim Fatha Ja, Ha Fatha Ha, Qa Fatha Qa, Dal Fatha Da, Dhal Fatha Dha, Ra Fatha Ra, Zay Fatha Zay, Sin Fatha Sa, Shin Fatha Sha, Sad Fatha Sa, Dad Fatha Da, Ta Fatha Ta, Za Fatha Za, Ain Fatha A, Ghain Fatha Gha, Fa Fatha Fa, Qaf Fatha Qa, Kaf Fatha Ka, Lam Fatha La, Mim Fatha Ma, Nun Fatha Na, Ha Fatha Ha, Waw Fatha Wa, Ya Fatha Ya.
Okay. Uh, pretty good. Pretty good. Uh, say the kha for me again.
Qa Fatha
Start.
Qa,
I'm sorry. The start from the ha.
Ha Fatha Ha,
Say it again.
Ha Fatha Ha,
Okay. Are you able to make it clear?
Ha Fatha Ha.
Okay. All right.
I'm
Good. Yeah.
trying to use I'm trying to use the
Right.
middle of the throat. So that's something I struggle with. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
the how the other ha is like supposed to be, like bottom level, like very
Mm,
clear,
yes.
as it say, and then this has supposed to be a little bit of like a more force or like, a little
Yeah.
upper, So I
Restricted.
struggle
So
with that.
so the
Yeah.
with this guy, the way that the pronunciation rule is that it's like a restriction. Like
Mhm.
you have to restrict the throat so
Mhm.
that way that sound, the ha sound comes in. So you have to like restrict it if that makes sense.
Uh,
So it was pretty good. It was pretty much there, like 90% there, but I just want us to be like razor sharp and be able to say it as clear as possible. So that way we know like easily, like the back of our hands, what's the difference, you know? Because once you start reciting and stuff, that's when these things are gonna kick in, and then you're gonna start like stumbling over words. So ha is supposed to be ha. You see the difference?
Ha,
You say it
ha,
again.
ha,
Okay. So ha. Do you
ha,
hear the difference? Ha. I don't,
ha.
ha. So
So,
yeah.
for ha, no, I understand what you mean now. So ha, right? There's like the back of your throat is like completely open. Like for
Yes.
ha, for the simple ha, right? And then for this ha, it's like ha, like
Yes.
like a little bit. It feels like it's a little bit closed off. Yeah.
Yeah. Restricted. Yeah. Restricted. So
Yeah, exactly.
it's like you close your like it definitely comes from the back of the throat, and then the throat gets a little restricted.
Hmm.
So ha ha
Ha, ha.
ahsabu sah ahsabu alhamdulillah
Alhamdulillah.
ahsabu ahna
Ah,
صح صح
ah,
أحمر
ah.
أحمر
Yeah.
أحمان
Ah, yeah. Ah,
رحمن.
Rahman, yeah.
Yeah.
Rahman.
And it's like very different. You have to make sure that you're not saying roh,
Rah,
that you're not saying roh like roh aro or roh aro, or you know roh aro is rahman.
Rahman. Rah,
Rah
rah,
rahman. Yeah,
rah.
almost there. Pretty much there. Pretty much there. Okay, let's move on. What about the kha?
Ha, so this is another one that I struggle with.
Mhm.
So, ha, so ha, fatha, ha.
Okay, so this guy, the best way that I can teach, the best way that I tell people, I mean,
Mm.
I think it's like the easiest way is just think that imagine that you're hawking up your spit. What do you do when you hawk up your spit? Let me hear you.
Ha, ha, right?
You do
Ha,
right.
yeah,
You do
yeah.
right,
Ach,
like
right.
right there.
Ach, ha, ach,
This is literally just that. It's ah.
ha,
So you
ha,
do that same thing, right? Like you do,
ach, ha,
and then you just say ah
ha,
khalidin.
ha,
See,
ha,
it's not ka, right? It's ka. Like you
ha,
actually have to do
ha.
the
Spool up, like you spool up for it. Ha,
yeah, yeah,
ha,
yeah,
ha.
yeah. So, but you don't have to say you don't have to say that initial ka if that makes sense, right?
Uh,
It's like you start like you're already revving up, like you're already spooling up as you start.
mhm.
So rather than saying ka, it's kha khalid. Because if you say, like
Ha,
the khalidina, then that's kind of wrong, right? It's a khalidina.
ha, ha.
akhlaq
Ach,
akhlaq.
أخلاق
Naam. So it's like
أخلاق
khalidina fiha. أخبار أخمار أخلاق أخلاق. So it's that is always
أخلاق
there.
أخلاق
Yeah.
أخلاق. Okay.
Okay, so say kha now. Let me hear.
خا
It's pretty much there. It's
خا
like 90%. So
خا
you're like perfectly there. The only thing that I would say change is don't say that initial ka, that initial ka.
خا.
Does that make sense? Everything else is right. Like the second part is right. Just the beginning
Mhm.
where you say ka, right?
Yeah.
Don't say the k, don't say the k part. Just go straight
خا
into ha. Go straight
خا
into ha.
خا
There you go. There you go. There you go. Say it again.
خا خا
Wait, what?
خا خا
Kha,
خا
kha,
خا
khalaqa.
خا
See when you say like
خالق
khalaqa, right? You
خالق.
say you
Yeah.
say khalaqa. You don't say
خالق.
khalaqa. You know what I'm saying? You don't
Yeah.
say
خالق
khalaqa, right?
خالق.
خلق الإن خلق الإنسان
خا
خلق
خا
الإنسان.
خلق.
That was good.
خلق.
Yes, yes. Okay. So if you feel like you need to learn a little more, maybe like you need to learn how your throat is supposed to be like fixated, or maybe get like a second opinion from, someone that might be able to explain better. It'll just be as simple as a like a quick YouTube video.
Yeah.
And then we can, pick up from there again. Okay. And then your dal was good. Say the dal one more time.
Dhal. So
That's good. That's good. The again.
the,
That's good. Okay. Ra
raw,
again.
raw.
Okay. So the ra, right? You have to kind of roll your R's. So mo most people, and this I've seen in like most people is that they say raw, right? Like raw,
Mhm.
raw. It's like they're rolling it. I mean, no, sorry, they're not. You need to roll it, but it's like they're saying like raw. So the correct way, to my knowledge, is raw. Like ar-Rahman. That's why when people
Ar-
say
Raw,
ar-Rahman, their tongue flutters a little bit. I say
raw,
ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
raw,
Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. When you say ar-Rahman, right? It's like
raw,
ar-Rahman, like
raw, raw,
ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I say
raw.
ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. That's why their tongue flutters just like a raw.
But then for the Dhamma and Kasra, right? It's supposed to be
Same
like
thing.
very solid, right? Like ru,
No, no,
right?
no, same thing.
Re? No, same thing?
Yeah, same thing.
So
Ri, ri. It's just
re.
the difference is just like it's not heavy. It's lighter. So for the ri, right?
Mhm.
uh you still can't you still flutter a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's lighter. It's not okay, it's not full mouth.
Mhm.
It's not full mouth, it's empty mouth. So the difference, let's say fatha, right, is raw, right? So more,
Raw.
your mouth is full, raw, raw, raw.
Mhm.
Rahman, Rabb, right? uh Rahim. But with the kasra, it's ri. That's the only difference.
Re.
So if you
Re.
notice, you're still
Or.
you're still fluttering. You're still saying re,
Re.
re. You're not saying
Re.
re, right?
Re.
Like you're
Yeah.
not saying re.
Re.
You're saying re.
Re.
You're still free, exactly, yeah.
Re.
But it's
Mm.
empty mouth. Re. It's the best example of that is in Surah Falaq. Right? قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر
Shall.
قل أعوذ برب
Re.
الفلق من شر ما خلق
Sharri.
من شر
Sharri.
ما من شر
Sharri
ما, right?
ma. Mm.
من شر ما. You're not saying من شر ما, right?
Right. Right.
You're not saying من شر ما. You're saying
Right.
من شر. Some people say it actually. Some people
Yeah.
actually say it during like salah and stuff, and that's and
Mhm.
that's not correct. Like, so min sharri ma is not correct. It's min sharri ma khalaq.
Sharri
من
ma. Mhm.
من شر غاسق من شر
Sharri.
see how the tongue still flutters,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's not full mouth. It's just empty mouth. من شر
Sharri
ما
ma.
خلق. But the
Mm.
fluttering is important. So Ar-Rahman.
Arrah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I
So
understand
the
now.
so the
Right.
raw.
Arrah. Mm-hmm.
Oh no. So the raw. What just happened? I don't need this. Yeah. So the raw is, again, you see the difference of raw,
Arrah.
raw.
Raw. Raw.
Good, good. That's good. That's good.
Raw.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And then the za was good, right? You said za. I simple.
Zah. Yeah.
Za is the simple one. Za.
Zah.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be like Z, A, B, C. Yeah.
Zah. Yeah.
Sin, you said sa. You said correctly. Sha, right? And then
Yeah.
sod, you said correctly. Dod in law. Say the dod.
Daw. Daw.
Let Dod, dod, dod,
Daw.
dod, dod. Good. Okay.
Dawd.
So you want to make sure
Dawd.
you
Full
do that.
mouth, right? Yeah.
You do that little circle with your mouth. Dod,
Dawd. Yeah.
dod, and sod. Same thing as sod. Say it.
Sawd. Yeah.
Good, good, good. That
Sawd.
that little sod,
Mhm.
sod, sod, sod. Good. Okay. And the thaw you said correctly too. Another thaw. The this
Daw.
next one. Say that now.
Zaw.
Okay. So
The. This one is also,
yeah,
I've
it's tough.
noticed. Yeah.
It's definitely a tough one. Definitely a tough one. So this one, the this one is going to be a wall.
The.
Wall.
The.
Wall. So the tongue comes, your tongue comes right behind your rear, I mean your
Uh,
top teeth,
uh,
uh, like right. So your tongue is like this,
right.
right? Huh,
The.
right? And then you
Yeah.
say wall, wall, and then there's like a big gap. You
Mm.
make a big air gap between your tongue and then the roof of your mouth. So that and that's what makes it different from za or the.
Right.
The
The.
yeah, the the is the full mouth or empty mouth?
Empty mouth.
Empty mouth. What about
Right.
the the?
The full mouth.
The is full mouth.
Right.
So think of that, and that's gonna help you pronounce it correctly. So the dal is dal, right?
Right.
You see the difference, but this is a
Right.
va,
The. Yeah.
not za. It's va.
The.
Yeah, just
The.
za. There's za, and then there's va. See the difference?
The.
There you go.
The.
Perfect. Perfect. Just like that.
The. Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. Perfect. But you see how that's very, I mean, you see how that's minusculely different from law
Right.
and the.
Right.
See? So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
a that, the, and then there's a law, which is dod, and then there's a law. أعوذ بالله. أعوذ بالله. You're not saying أعوذ بالله, you're saying أعوذ
Lu.
بالله. You see?
Right.
Yeah, and you're not saying أعوذ بالله, right? Some
Right.
people say that, obviously. A lot of people that don't know, they'll say either أعوذ بالله or they'll say أعوذ بالله. They're both wrong. Correct? If you actually really look into it, it's it's very minuscule, but that's how the experts from those that just kind of like learned from home. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
it's so you apply that, like you say, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Okay, I think you got it. Say it one more time.
The.
Perfect, 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 perfect. And then I think this you got to, right? Say it again.
Ain.
Hmm.
Goin.
No. Say like
Oh.
with the fatha.
Oh. All right.
Hmm?
All right.
Again.
All right.
So you don't have, you're pretty much there, but you don't have to make the little like Does that make sense? You don't have to say
Yeah.
It's just
All right. All
ah.
right.
Perfect. Yeah.
All right.
Ah.
All right.
Uh, عمل الصالحة. عمل عمل الصالحة. عليها. عليها. So you're not saying عليها. You're saying عليها.
All right. Yeah. All right.
عليها.
All right.
رب
Mm.
رب العالمين. رب العالمين.
All right. I mean, yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. And then the this.
Go.
Okay, say it again.
Go.
Okay. So the
Ain. Goin. Mm.
the clarity with this is that it's not ga, it's
Mm.
ra,
Go.
ra.
Go.
So kind of similar to the kha, right?
Right.
Yeah, how you were starting off with kha,
Right.
kha, and I
Right.
and I said rather than saying kha, say kha,
Right.
because when you say khalidina fiha, you don't say khalidin, right? You
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
say khalidin, you say khalidina
Oh,
fiha abada.
right.
It's like
Go.
you're already like you ease into it, if that makes sense. So
It's like the
Khalid.
second sound you pronounce, right? Like the second sound you produce,
Yeah. But you
not
just
the
say that
first.
from the beginning, exactly.
Right.
Khalidina fi. And the same thing applies for this, but except like it's a different word. You say غير المغضوب, right? غير المغضوب. Like you don't say. I mean, a lot a lot of people say it, right?
Right.
A lot of people say غير المغضوب, which is wrong. غير المغضوب is wrong. It says غير المغضوب. غير المغضوب. Try it.
غا
Uh,
غا غا
say غير
غاي
المغضوب.
غير المغضوب.
Okay, so it's still coming out a little bit, right? You're still saying a little bit غير المغضوب.
غير المغضوب غير المغضوب.
Make the sound when you like gargle. Oh,
غا.
that's what you say when you gargle. You say ga.
No,
Imagine, ima
huh.
imagine you're actually gargling. Imagine, make it. Let let me hear that sound. Can't hear it. Say it again. Come a little closer to the mic. You sound away.
It's a
Okay,
little
so
dry, but
so
yeah.
so when you gargle, you do right,
Yeah.
right there. You see it? You
غا
do
غا غا.
right. That's what you do.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the same thing. Look, غير ال
غا
غير ال
غا
you don't do
غير ال. Hmm?
you don't put that in G into it. You don't say you don't do go, right? You do
Right.
غير. This is the same thing. غير ال غير ال.
غير ال
There you go. That one.
غير ال
That one. Yeah.
غير
Yes.
ال. Okay.
Yes. غير غير
غير
المغضوب عليهم غافي غفور, right? غفار, right? You don't say غفور or you say غفار, right? You don't say
غفار. Yeah.
غفار, right? You say
Yeah.
غفار. غفور. غلام.
غفور. غلام.
غم. غاضب.
Mm-hmm.
غضب, right?
Mm-hmm.
غم غمر. غيبي. You just pull up the Quran. غير المغضوب. um, إدغام, right? إدغام.
إدغام.
You don't say إدغام,
إدغام.
right? You say إدغام.
إدغام.
إدغام, right? إدغام.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make it nice and smooth. That's how you'll know the difference. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
أغنى, right? It's not
أغ.
أغنى, right? It's not right?
أغ.
It's not
Yeah.
right? Like there's no initial G, if that makes sense. It goes straight into like that
Mm.
little vibration. So أغنى أغنى
أغنى أغنى. Mm.
أستغفر أستغفر
استغفر
الله
الله استغفر
أستغفر
الله.
الله ما أغنى عنه ما
أغنى
أغنى, right? It's not right? It's
أغنى.
not right? It's
Right.
أغنى
أغ.
أغنى. Okay.
أغنى. Mm.
Okay, fa was good. Your qaf was good, I think, right? Qaf. And then this one?
Which one? Huh?
This one?
Or Gaf?
Uh, Kaf, yeah.
Gaf.
Yeah.
Fatha. Ka.
Ka, that's good. Okay.